This happened when I was working as a fitness instructor at a mid-sized gym in the suburbs. I'd been there about 3 years at that point, and I genuinely loved the job. I knew most of the regulars by name. It was that kind of place. About 18 months ago, we took on a new member. His name was Marcus. He was in his late 40s, quiet, polite, came in every weekday without fail. Nothing unusual about him at first. He mostly used the weight section and kept to himself, the kind of member you barely notice. After about a month, he started booking personal training sessions. He was assigned to me. He was a good client in the sense that he showed up on time, worked hard, didn't complain, but there was something about the way he interacted with me that never felt quite right. He asked a lot of questions, not about training, about me. Small things at first, where I grew up, whether I had siblings, what I did on my days off. I kept it light and professional and redirected back to the session. Most clients make small talk. I didn't flag it. But the questions kept coming, and they kept getting more specific. He remembered things I'd mentioned weeks earlier in passing and brought them back up in later sessions. He knew I'd mentioned once that I drove a specific route home. He knew I'd said I sometimes stopped at the petrol station on the retail park after late shifts. These weren't significant things, but the fact that he'd cataloged them and held onto them made me uncomfortable in a way I found hard to articulate. I mentioned it to my manager, who suggested I raise it with Marcus directly if it happened again. It wasn't enough to reassign him at that point. Then, one Friday after closing, I was locking up the staff room when I found something on the bench by my locker. A folded piece of paper. My name was written on the outside in handwriting I didn't recognize. Inside was a printed screenshot of my personal Facebook profile, not my work page, my personal one, which was set to private. Someone had accessed it or been shown it by a mutual contact. There was no message, just the screenshot. I showed my manager immediately. CCTV was reviewed and showed Marcus entering the changing room adjacent to the staff area just after 9 that evening, shortly before closing. He shouldn't have been in that section of the building at all. His membership was suspended the same night, and he was sent a formal letter. I thought that would be the end of it. 4 days later, I was leaving the gym at the end of a close shift, just before 10. The car park was mostly empty. I was walking to my car when I noticed a figure sitting in a dark saloon car near the exit. I couldn't see clearly, but the car hadn't been there when the last member left. As I got into my own car, the saloon started its engine. I left the car park and drove in the direction away from my usual route home. The car followed me for 2 junctions before I turned into a petrol station and went inside. I stood inside for about 12 minutes. When I came back out, the car wasn't on the road. I called the police that night and gave them everything: the paper in the staff room, the CCTV, the car. They said they'd contact Marcus in relation to the incident at the gym. I don't know what was said to him or whether they followed through. What I do know is that 2 weeks later, a colleague told me Marcus had submitted a formal complaint against the gym, claiming his membership had been canceled without due cause. He wanted it reinstated. The gym refused, and the complaint went nowhere. I transferred to a different branch about a month after that. Different area, different commute, different regulars. I've been there 6 months now and nothing has happened. But I transferred partly because I kept catching myself checking the car park before I left each night. And I realized I was doing it automatically, the way you do something you've been doing long enough that it stops feeling like a choice. I'm still doing it at the new branch. I don't think that part goes away quickly.